I'm going to use this particular video to illustrate the meaning of a human design chart in case you ever need to just understand the basics of the chart. And for those who are new to human design, studying it, I'm going to use an example of a manifesting generator chart. So I'll be going over the authorities. So this will be a reading on how charts work, but including, for example, a manifesting generator chart and some important things to know in relationship to human design charts. So I'm going to start by reiterating something really important, which is that understand that human design is not necessarily specifically just left brain information. I've been getting questions about that for my forecast. Friends are saying, what do I want to do with this information? I listened to your forecast, sounded nice, an intellectual array of sharing ideas about the month ahead. Understand that these are mental concepts coming into your consciousness. Just like when you get your first human design reading, you're getting a transmission. And it takes 7 years for that knowledge in your left brain, how it's getting in through there, to reach all the cells in your body. That's 7 years is when all cells have completely transformed. So the process, according to Ra and human design, is 7 years to after your first initial reading, with kind of activated understandings and continual looks at the chart and research into the knowledge, is when the cells are completely transformed and the knowledge has reached all parts of consciousness. So what is said often, the veracity of this you could check out for yourself, but what is said is that human design is initially left brain. It starts there, but essentially it's for the body. It's a surrendering to the vehicle and to allowing your body to operate correctly and not letting the mind have complete authority, unless you're a mental projector, of course. Now, the challenge with astrology is, it just reminds me of this line from an Iron Maiden song, "Too much time on my hands. I've got to warn my mind. Can't ease despair." It's just the idea that, the mind has a hard time understanding how to relate certain things to consciousness. The mind is what is hacked into this kind of this simulacrum, this simulation that we're in. It is the source for it. It is how we are unable to see anything more than the Maya all around us at all times. Our mind is jacked into it. And if we're ruled by our mind and not our heart, then we're definitely not hacked into the stronger frequency in our bodies. The heart is much stronger than the mind. And I'm getting lost in the point. Oh, so my point is, just as if you were receiving a human design reading, my forecast monthly, the purpose and focus of my forecast is to illuminate the gates that the sun, the solar force, is moving through, not the other planets, not the planets, mostly just the luminary of the sun. I do go to the moon, the new moon, full moon, and when Pluto hits the moon. So I just go over the luminaries because, the sun and the luminaries are the lights. They are, at least the sun is what gives us the majority of our life force energy. And that essentially is what we're following in this lifetime. All the planets are just filters of that light of who we are. They're just, they're kind of not only filtering, but they're distracting us from the source of who we are. Me and Lotto was talking about this in the last video I did with her, and she was talking about how the ancients, she was talking about how the planets are like essentially like demonic, like they're intelligences that are disturbing and occluding and distracting us from our source. And she's pretty much getting to what Ra noted about the planets, was that the ancients said that the planets were evil in a sense because they're distractions from the pure light of consciousness, which is the sun. So, there's other ideas about that, especially, with all the video of, our skies going on, and how the planets just seem like these strange lights up in the sky. We don't buy into these images that are sold to us of what Mercury looks like or Pluto looks like. We know those are all doctored images. I mean, that's already been communicated. Um, so I'm going to try and focus on just the human design chart and breaking it down. And again, my main point today is to say that this information, while it sounds incredibly intellectual, even monthly as I do my forecast, it's for your consciousness. Remember, it's bleeding through. You don't need to do anything with the knowledge. Once it passes through, that's what it is. And I think I'll do 2 vids. I'll do maybe a vid on each type just for a general understanding. But this introduction will be just for the human design chart. So let me start with that. Here we go. So this is a sample chart here, the very colorful mandala from Genetic Matrix. So as you can see here, this is a mandala human design chart. So you see the overlay of the I Ching with the 12 zodiacal signs. You see the I Ching hexagrams, and then closer to the center of the wheel, you see the numbers of the hexagrams. And then the outermost wheel, you see the 4 different particular parts of consciousness that one is born under. You have 1, which is initiation, the mind; 2, civilization, form, that's being in the body; 3, duality, relationship, duality is the realization of the other; and then 4, mutation of the spirit. So that's the outer cycle. That's more that colors the particular gates, what the primal motive directive of those particular gates are. And as fits in with astrology, you see that the initiation gates are Aries, part of Taurus, part of Pisces, or most of Pisces, all of Pisces, and half of Aquarius. For form, you have Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Makes sense. I mean, with Taurus, you're putting into form what Aries initiates. Gemini is carrying forth the plans of Taurus through the mind, and Cancer is bringing it into physical birth, as it symbolizes motherhood and birth. And then Leo is putting that out into the world. And then relationships, Virgo being in service to another. All Virgos sacrifice at some point in their life. Libras are all about the chaos in their search for harmony and intimacy and connection to the other. The Virgo is the bridge to the soul, to the other side of the zodiac, through the bridge to Libra, which is, again, duality, relationship. And then Scorpio is the depth of that. And then you have the mutation, the transformation through the work of the spirit. Sagittarius being the yang, the bringing out of all that depth created in Scorpio. Capricorn perfecting it, in Aquarius and bringing it to the cosmic understanding of the world. Some other things we can see in this particular mandala. We're missing some other things like type, strategy, and authority, but I don't want to look at that now. We're also missing the 2 sides of human design. But more so with this, I wanted to just point out how the correspondence between where the planets are sitting in all the gates, which is the different hexagrams, which is what corresponds to our DNA. But I may bring up that other chart because it's really important to have that. But for right now, this is what happens when um, when everything is activated in the chart. If all the centers are activated, it would always be the design of the manifesting generator. And this is the most ancient type. This is before the generator type and the manifestor type came out. I think if I'm correct. I know the manifestor types are pretty ancient as well. It's the projector types are more new from the 1700s. And that had to do with the activation of more centers. This particular present image or present time period, we have a 9-centered vehicle, whereas prior to the projector, it was a 7 or 6-centered vehicle. And so that's what it is. Just wanted to do a quick share. I'll do another vid of the regular human design, or the common one found in Jovian Archive and other sites. This one I wanted to show you the wheel and how it looks. Thanks.